he picked the wrong family, and not scared of a conflict, and we're not scared. We're not running. We're coming at him.
But it's, again, it just tells the story of it's the evil and the ugliness of people's hearts these days is everywhere.
Hey guys, good to see y'all. I've been gone for a little while. I was on holidays and then I came back and I just wasn't up to snuff. And now this is going on. And I thought, you know what? We need to get together. I miss you guys. So let's see. I'm going to get this ready. So how's everybody been? What's going on here? I'm just going to refresh it a bit. 1 minute and 23, so I can't do anything with that yet. And I'm back. Well, hello, James and Mexi. Hello, Ricky D. Ricky D. Nice to see you. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm anxious, guys. I don't know. Have you all been watching this since the get-go? Wow. Unreal. So I've got a stream. I'm just kind of waiting for them to kick in. Of course, Jazzy, there's going to be a little commotion, so I'll mute out for a minute here once that starts. Oh, hang on. Here it goes. Actually, I didn't go too bad, guys. Okay, I'm just going to...
Please introduce Rear Admiral John Mauger.
This morning, an ROV, or remote operated vehicle, from the vessel Horizon Arctic discovered the tail cone of the Titan submersible approximately 1,600 feet from the bow of the Titanic on the seafloor. The ROV subsequently found additional debris. In consultation with experts from within the Unified Command, the debris is consistent with the catastrophic loss of the pressure chamber. Upon this determination, we immediately notified the families. On behalf of the United States Coast Guard and the entire Unified Command, I offer my deepest condolences to the families. I can only imagine what this has been like for them, and I hope that this discovery provides some solace during this difficult time. Additionally, we've been in close contact with the British and French consuls general to ensure that they are fully apprised and that their concerns are being addressed. The outpouring of support in this highly complex search operation has been robust and immensely appreciated. We are grateful for the rapid mobilization of experts on the undersea search and rescue, and we thank all of the agencies and personnel for their role in the response. We're also incredibly grateful for the full spectrum of international assistance that's been provided. The ROVs will remain on scene and continue to gather information. Again, our most heartfelt condolences go out to the loved ones of the crew. We'll now take questions.
John, what other debris have you found? John, what other debris have you found?
Can you talk about the delay in reporting the vessel missing and what impact that had on the recovery?
This was a incredibly complex case, and we're still working to develop the details for the timeline involved with this casualty and the response. And so we'll provide that information.
James Matthews from Sky News. John, what other debris have you found? And have you found any trace of those who were on?
So this is an incredibly complex operating environment on the seafloor, over 2 miles beneath the surface. And so the remote operating vehicle has been searching, and it is highly capable. And we've been able to classify parts of the pressure chamber for the Titan submersible. Let me refer to one of my undersea experts here, Mr. Paul Hankin, to talk about the nature of some of the debris.
Thank you, Admiral. So essentially, we found 5 different major pieces of debris that told us that it was the remains of the Titan. The initial thing we found was the nose cone, which was outside of the pressure hull. We then found a large debris field. Within that large debris field, we found the front end bell of the pressure hull. That was the first indication that there was a catastrophic event. Shortly thereafter, we found a second smaller debris field. Within that debris field, we found the other end of the pressure hull, the aft end bell, which was basically comprised of the totality of that pressure vessel. We continue to map the debris field, and as the Admiral said, we will do the best we can to fully map out what's down there.
Thank you very much. It's a very difficult question to ask, but it will be an important one for the families, of course. What are the prospects of recovering the bodies of the missing crew?
So the questions was related. I'm restating the question from the standpoint of sometimes it's hard to hear the question here. What are the prospects for recovering crew members? And so this is a incredibly unforgiving environment down there on the seafloor, and the debris is consistent with a catastrophic implosion of the vessel. And so we'll continue to work and continue to search the area down there, but I don't have an answer for prospects at this time.
Admiral, it's Tom Costello at NBC News. Is there any suggestion? Sorry, any suggestion at all that the sub itself collided with the wreckage of Titanic, or that instead it might have imploded above the wreckage and then rained down nearby?
So the question was, is there any question as to whether or not the sub collided with the Titanic or whether it imploded above and debris field created from that? So the The location of the Titan submersible was in an area that was approximately 1,600 feet from the wreck of the Titanic. I have an expert here that is familiar with that area and can talk about the debris field and what the debris field indicates in terms of where the casualty may have occurred.
Rear Admiral, really quickly, can you tell me when that massive fleet will be called back?
Hang on a second. The expert voice is coming up to answer the question.
Thank you, Admiral. So the question is, where does the wreck lie in relation to the Titanic? I didn't hear the Admiral's answer. I think 1,600 feet. Was that correct, Admiral?
Yep, you got it.
So that's off the bow of Titanic. It's in an area where there is not any debris of Titanic. It is a smooth bottom. There, to my knowledge and anything I've seen, there's no Titanic wreckage in that area. And again, 200 plus meters from the bow, and consistent with the location of last communication for an implosion in the water column. And the size of the debris field is consistent with that implosion in the water column.
What would cause the implosion? In terms of the timing here, you say that this was a catastrophic implosion. And I know it's early on, but is it your estimation that this happened right at the moment when they lost contact, an hour and 45 minutes after their descent?
So the question was about the timing of the catastrophic implosion. Right now, it is too early to tell with that. We know that as we've been prosecuting this search over the course of the last 72 hours and beyond, that we've had sonar buoys in the water nearly continuously and have not detected any catastrophic events when those sonar buoys have been in the water. So,
can you describe what happens from here, sir, in the next days and weeks in terms of finding any more debris? What happens from here?
So we will. The question was, what happens from here? What's the next phase? And so right now, again, our thoughts are with the families and making sure that they have an understanding as best as we can provide of what happened and begin to find some closure. In terms of the large process, we're going to continue to investigate the site of the debris field. And then I know that there's also a lot of questions about how, why, and when did this happen. And so, you know, those are questions that we will collect as much information as we can on now, while the governments are meeting and discussing you know, what an investigation of this nature of a casualty might look like. This is something that happened. I'll just remind everybody. This is something that happened in a remote portion of the ocean with people from several different countries around the world. And so it is a complex case to work through. But I'm confident that those questions will begin to get answered.
From the UK, is there any suggestion that time factors, speed, anything could have prevented this or saved the 5 people on board, or is this quite simply a catastrophic accident?
The question was there any suggestion that time factors may have played a role or a consideration in the casualty here? And so the debris field is consistent with a catastrophic implosion of the vessel. Again, while we were prosecuting the search, we had listening devices in the water throughout and did not hear any signs of catastrophic failure from those. And so we're going to continue to investigate, or we're going to continue to document the information there and understand, based on all the information we have, the timeline.
What does this mean for the resources required
So the question was, what are the resources required for the investigation, and which ships will be pulling out and staying in? And so it's too early for me to talk about an investigation. That's a decision that's going to be taken outside of the search and efforts that I was leading. But we do have a number of vessels. We have 9 vessels on the scene right now. We had medical personnel on scene. We had other technicians on scene. And so we will begin to demobilize personnel and vessels from the scene over the course of the next 24 hours. But we're going to continue remote operations on the seafloor. And I don't have a timeline for when we would intend to stop remote operations on the seafloor at this point.
Admiral, as a result of this, do you think there should be changes in the way these are safety rated or inspected so that this won't happen again?
Yeah, the question was essentially about do you think that there should be changes in safety ratings or inspection for these standards? I know that there's a lot of questions about why, how, when this happened, and the members of the Unified Command, have those questions too, as professionals and experts that work in this environment. And this is an incredibly difficult and dangerous environment to work in out there. But those questions about the regulations that apply and the standards, that's going to be, I'm sure, a focus of future review. Right now, we're focused on documenting the scene and continuing the subfloor.
I know we don't know the timing here. We don't know the timing here, but there was the banging noises yesterday that redirected and redeployed the ROVs to this area. Is there anything conclusive in those noises, and did that redirection and then finding this debris field today all help?
So throughout the search efforts, we reacted to the information that we had available to us, and while we continue to send it off for deeper analysis. Again, really complex operating environment for us to work in. Let me check with the experts, but there doesn't appear to be any connection between the noises and the location on the seafloor. Again, this was a catastrophic implosion of the vessel, which would have generated a significant broadband sound down there that the sonar buoys would have picked up.
This will be the last question.
Admiral, if you talk about the ROV that dropped into the ocean today, it arrived early this morning. It seems it swiftly was able to find the debris field. If you could talk about the speed of that, and also were all of the assets involved moved as swiftly as possible to the area? Was any help turned away, as some lawmakers have criticized the government?
This was a incredibly complex operation, and we were able to mobilize an immense amount of gear to the site in just a really remarkable amount of time, given the fact that we started without any sort of vessel response plan for this or any sort of pre-stage resources. And so the equipment that was brought on site this morning that we were using was a pelagic ROV capable of operating at 6,000 meters, cameras, sonar, other articulating arms and resources on it. And it, we had to transport it here through C-17 aircraft. This is 2 aircraft that it took to get this up here. And so we've really had the right gear on site and worked as swiftly as possible to bring all of the capabilities that we had to bear to this search and rescue effort. And it was just a huge international and interagency effort to make this happen. So I'm really grateful for all of the responders that came out to support this and really search for the vessel. It is a difficult day for all of us, and it's especially difficult for the families, and our thoughts are with the families today. But this was an immense support, and we had the right gear on the bottom to find it. So thank you.
Will you attempt to recover the bodies, can we ask you? The victims, will they be recovered?
Thank you so much, everyone, for attending this afternoon. There are no future planned press conferences. Updates will be shared to the USCG Northeast Twitter page, and our staff will be available to take down any questions following this. Thank you. I can get that back to you afterwards, just so I can confirm. Thank you.
What? Oh, I expected that to go on a little bit longer. That's for darn sure. I wanted more information. So it does sound like it imploded, doesn't it? Wow. So let's see here what we can find. Doesn't sound to me like it made it all the way to the bottom, does it? Let me see. I just want to see where I'm not going to. Take a peek here. No. Not seeing anything yet. So what do you guys think? That is kind of what I'm thinking, James, that it would probably have been over pretty quick. You know, I don't know if I didn't catch it. I was kind of watching different things. Did they say, was it at the beginning of the descent? And then it comes to like it's the open sea. So does that mean that anybody can do anything, is what one reporter said. I don't know how true that is, because you can't just go out and unalive somebody out there. Yeah, so sad. You know, all these guys, they were big into chasing adrenaline. And I heard, I don't know how accurate it is, but I did hear that they had to sign a waiver that was like, this can happen, this can happen, this can happen, this can happen. It sounds like it was pretty extensive. So I don't know if that'll like cover anybody. I don't know how that'll work. I'm just going to see here what we've got. No, thank you. I'm just going to see if we've got anything earlier that, because I didn't catch any of the other updates. I don't know about you guys. Can you imagine like the adrenaline from doing something like that? But the risk, oh my God. I don't know how that would work. I like adrenaline, always have. I think a lot of us do. But I don't think I would go down in that thing. I just don't think so. Oh my God. Okay. What is this here? So they are saying this is 3 hours ago. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, because I know that would definitely do it, right? Like, as far as I know, even like divers, they can't they can't go down or up very fast because they get, what is it called? The bends. So this was a couple hours ago, and it says, we believe they have all been lost. Coast Guard and Ocean Gate Expeditions confirmed death of 5 crew on board the missing submersible Titan after debris was found 500 meters from the bow of the Titanic. Is that the same number they gave us earlier? The U.S. Coast Guard Ocean Gate Expedition have confirmed the death of 5 men, and they're saying again this 500 meters from the ship. The landing frame and rear cover of the missing submersible were discovered today by a remote operated submarine in a devastating blow to any hope that the men may still be found alive. It would mean the sub suffered a crack and imploded. The underwater pressure would instantly kill all 5 men on board. Let's take a look at this. This is okay, I'm gonna go back here. That's fast. So let's see here. Wow. Sorry, James. Oh my goodness. Oh, look at the settings again. I thought I got them all. Okay, let's take a look at this. Officials have not yet indicated whether they believe sub ever made it to the Titanic, which means the men paid $250,000 to do, or if they died before they ever got to lay eyes on it. So yeah, did they make it? Did they get to see what ultimately they paid $250,000 to die for? Oh, this is horrific. U.S. Coast Guard Rear Admiral John Moger, I do believe, said the debris is consistent with the catastrophic loss of the pressure chamber. Upon this determination, we immediately notified the families. So when did this happen? On behalf of the Coast Guard and the entire Unified Command, I offer my deepest condolences to the families. The prospect of recovering any of the victims is slim. This is an incredibly unforgiving environment down there. The debris is consistent with a catastrophic implosion of the vessel. We will continue to work and search the area down there, but I don't have an answer for prospects at this time. It is impossible to know when the sub imploded, he added, though none of the sonar buoys that were in the water since Monday detected the implosion sound. That, I mean, it's devastating. I didn't know, I didn't realize how close this was to St. John's, like to Newfoundland. I had no idea. I should have known that. Odyssey 6K discovered the debris recorded for previous underwater rescue. 1,575 feet debris field found near the wreckage. So I think we heard 2 different numbers, didn't we, guys? Mexi. Oh my word. Streamlabs. So let me get back here, make sure everything's going well. I'm still brand new at this platform, so I might get a couple things wrong. I'm doing my best here. I practiced for like a day before I tried it, but still making my boo-boos. It's great though. Loving it. Loving it. So the landing frame and rear cover of the missing Titan submersible have been discovered on the ocean floor. And that guy said that it was on a sandy surface. So it wasn't tangled up in the wreckage. Experts involved in the search who say it points to the vessel suffering a catastrophic implosion that will have claimed all 5 lives on board. So this is them here. This boy, 19 years old. 5 people are on board, including British billionaire adventurer Hamish. Is that this one? Hamish Harding, rest in peace. And okay, Shadaza Darwood and his son Sulman, who was 19, and rest in peace. I hope they had no warning. This guy gave great interviews, had been down quite a few times. And let's see here, French Navy veteran P.H. Nargley. I'm sorry, massacring it, right? In the sub, along with Stockton Rush, CEO. So I do believe he's one of the owners, right? Stockton Rush. And there was interviews, and oh my goodness, was this fella excited. Like, he was really excited. Let's see here. There we go. Wow. Come on. What's going on here? I'm just going to refresh it. No, thank you. And yes, please.
Yes.
Wow. Unreal. Unreal. So it does say in a statement, OceanGate said this afternoon, we now believe that our CEO, Stockton Rush, I really hope I'm saying these words, these names, sorta. Okay, Shazada DeWood and his son Suleiman DeWood, Hamish Harding, Paul, as did I say, Henri? And I'm sorry, I'm gonna try. I'm sorry. I have sadly been lost. That's terrible, guys. I'm sorry, and may they rest in peace. I am the worst when it comes to pronouncing different names. I am really, really curious. Like, do they have like a black box or something along those lines in these? We appreciate their commitment to finding these 5 explorers and their days and nights of tireless work in support of our crew and their families. So I do believe this is, how would you say that now? Odysseus 6K, remotely operated submarine deployed by the Horizon Arctic. And it can dive up to 20,000 feet. So I do believe this is what they used. Wow, 20,000. In this U.S. Coast Guard handout, a Coast Guard Air Station, Elizabeth City, North Carolina, HC-130 Hercules airplane flies over the French research vessel, Atlanta, approximately 900 miles east of Cape Cod during the search for the 21-foot submersible Titan, June 21st, 2023, over the Atlantic. Could you guys believe those depths? Whoa, unreal, unreal. And they went down like in this metal thing that even if they had a, sorry, jazzy calls, you know, even if that thing had have made it to the surface without any problems, they couldn't get out. It was like sealed shut. So this thing, I don't know about this thing. So it does look like Canada, of course, they were, look at how close that was, like to Newfoundland. They went in there and helped. They had all sorts of help trying to find this. The HMCS Glace Bay in vicinity and on standby Canadian naval ship carry decompression chambers and ready to provide medical assistance. You know, I was wondering about that, about the decompression issue. I mean, holy smokes, guys, holy smokes. So let's see, the Atlantic Merlin was on site, the Canadian offshore vessel with 400 winch systems, carries ROVs, but it is unknown how deep they can operate. So the Polar Prince is kind of down here, research vessel that launched the Titan submersible. Terry Fox, heavy icebreaker vessel operated by the Canadian Coast Guard. And if they're hitting our north, they need a heavy icebreaking vessel. Wow. So Horizon Arctic at St. John's, commercial vessel loaded with winch systems due to depart on Wednesday. The Anne Harvey, another light breaking vessel operated by the Canadian Coast Guards, due to arrived late on Wednesday. French operated ship heading to the scene with an ROV that can operate at the depths of the Titanic wreckage. That damn wreckage is down there. I was surprised again by looking at that map that we just went through. I I mean, you can't just go down there. There is like that compression issue. You have the force that is around that little tin can that's floating in the water. Oy. So on site, Scandi Vinland, subsea support vessel with 2 ROVs, but is unknown how deep they can operate. So they had lots out there, deep energy, commercial cable laying ship with 2 ROVs that can operate down to 3 meters or 10,000 feet, and the John Cabot scientific research vessel with sonar search capabilities operated by the Canadian Coast Guard. Go Canada! Ship scramble to the missing submarine site. There we go. Victor 6000 can get to depths needed and can help free or attach a cable to the Titan if they find it. So this one is attached to cables. I was kind of wondering about that. So it says again that the vessel sends its Viking, Atlanta research vessel sends its Viking 6000 ROV down to suspected site of stricken submarine. So it does, like it's got winches that come right from the ship, and they've also got a security cable. People were talking about that. I mean, I guess there's really nothing it will get into tangled up. I'm thinking as far as the shipwreckage, do they only use this when there's nothing to get tangled up in? Or is this what they use? I was wondering about like the winch and like the, I don't know what it's called, but the rope, yeah. Okay, Titan's mothership, the Polar Prince, has been searching the area since Saturday and was zigzagging the site. At least 10 ships on the sea above the Titanic. So there's Canada. Coast Guard says they don't know. I don't know if this will.
Yes. So a couple things. One, I think when you're in the middle of a search and rescue case, you always have hope. That's why we're doing what we do. With respect to the noises specifically, we don't know what they are, to be frank with you. The P3 detected noises. That's why they're up there. That's why they're doing what they're doing. That's why they put sonar buoys in the water. The good news is, what I can tell you is we're searching in the area where the noises were detected, and we'll continue to do so. And we hope that when we're able to get additional ROVs, which will be there in the morning, the intent will be to continue to search in those areas where the noises were detected, and if they're continuing to be detected, and then put additional ROVs down in the last known position where the search was originally taking place.
Okay.
Oh, we're using QuickBooks for a lot more than accounting.
What about integrated time tracking?
What is that?
Yep.
Surely it doesn't have built-in approval workflows.
It does.
Real-time profitability reports, online payments. Because your team.
Sorry, guys. So, specialist equipment being loaded onto the Royal Air Force A400M Atlas aircraft at the RAF Lossiemouth on its way to Newfoundland. Updated photo released by the Ministry of Defense. Whoa. Look at those spools. I mean, they've had everybody looking for them. Everybody. And by the sounds of things, I mean, it's just my opinion, but it is sounding like this happened fairly soon after they went down. Somebody told me that they lost. This is just something I heard. It's just in the back of my brain that they lost contact within 5 minutes. I don't know if that's true. Okay, aerial footage of the rescue team looking for. Let's look, guys.
Yes.
So this footage is coming from the Canadian Armed Forces. U.S. Coast Guard Rear Admiral John Moger announcing the man's death today at a press conference in Boston. The debris is consistent with a catastrophic loss of pressure of the pressure chamber. Upon this determination, we immediately notified the families. So this is what we looked at earlier, isn't it? Yes. So, Hamish Harding, a British billionaire adventurer, rest in peace. Shazda Dawood and his son Suleiman, rest in peace. French Navy veteran P.H. Nagole, I think I said that properly, I'll be corrected, was also in the sub, rest in peace. I do believe he was 70. Oh, don't take my, I was going to say 71, but then my head's going possibly 73. Ocean Gate CEO Stockton Rush was also on board. Rest in peace. So this is what we just watched with that, the depths of the different, that's insane, of the different oceans. It just freaks me right out. Yeah, I just find that like disturbing. Oh, wow. So let's see. I'll get back to this. So guys, if you're new to the channel, join us, subscribe. We've got a great family started here. And hit that notification because you honestly never know when I'm going to be able to stream. But would love to have you. I've got a sick pet and I'm under the weather, so my oomph isn't up there, but hey, tomorrow's always better. So earlier, Davis Mearns, who was a friend with two of the men on board, said the only saving grace for the men is how quickly their deaths occurred. That's my hopes as far as this goes. No suffering, no panicking, no scared, no pain. So the hull has not been found, but two very important parts of the whole system have been discovered, and that would not be found unless it's fragmented. That really indicates what is the worst case scenario, which is a catastrophic failure and implosion. The only saving grace is that it would have been immediate, literally in milliseconds, and the men would have no idea what was happening. My worst fears have now been realized. The world has been praying for a miracle after rescuers estimated the vital oxygen would end at 7:08 a.m. Eastern, 12:08 p.m. UK, 9:09 p.m. in Sydney on Thursday. Officials said the field has been found by the Odessa 6K that we were looking at earlier. Wow. Look at that water. Like, unreal. Are you kidding me? In the U.S. Coast Guard handout, a Coast Guard air station, Elizabeth City, North Carolina. Hercules 130 Hercules airplane flies over the French vessel Atlante, approximately 900 miles east of Cape Cod, searching for the 21-foot submersible Titan. And this was taken on June 21st, yesterday. Just the vastness, and we just took a look at how deep this is. Oh, my word. Oh, my word. So let's see, is this what we just looked at? I think it is. Yes. So this is, yeah, they're talking about a glimmer of hope came yesterday when the Coast Guard confirmed consistent banging noises had been detected by P-3 aircraft, but the search teams were unable to find the source of the sound or confirm that they were SOS signals the world had hoped for. That's the thing, you know. Everyone's praying that it's a miracle. I mean, it could have been a miracle. They could have somehow, everyone's looking for hope. They'd be dead before they knew anything, said L. David Marquet, a retired Navy nuclear submarine commander. Experts have for days warned of the possibility that the Titan had sprung a leak and imploded under the pressure, which is 400 times that experienced at sea level. Ooh, guys. So they have, it says if the debris does not belong to the Titan, but from the what we just seen, I do believe that's been confirmed, right? So the family of British billionaire Hamish Harding have spoken of their fury that it took OceanGate's mothership, the Polar Prince, 8 hours to report the sub missing on Sunday. I thought I had heard that. Oh, I don't know. Are the families going to be able to do anything about this, guys? Like, what? 8 hours. The Titan submerged at 8 a.m. and lost communication, okay, by 9:45 a.m. So not as fast as I heard at all. Looks like they were under there for a while, like an hour and 45. And they were not reported as missing to the U.S. Coast Guard since 5:40 p.m. 8 hours. The sub was due to return to the Polar Prince at 3 Eastern, 8 p.m. BST Sunday. Since Sunday night, there has been a frantic, international effort to find it and save the men on board. Those stuck on board the sub included British billionaire. We just talked about these guys. British billionaire Hamish Harding, OceanGate CEO Stockton Rush, French Navy veteran boys and girls, Nargolay, and Pakistan businessman Shahzad Dawood and his son Suleiman, who is just 19 and a student at the Strathclyde University. That breaks my heart. That breaks my heart. I mean, it all breaks my heart. Don't get me wrong. This all breaks my heart. The Titan craft, run by OceanGate Explorations, submerged on Sunday at 1 p.m. UK time, 8 a.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. Sydney, and this was about 400 miles southeast of St. John's, Newfoundland. 2:45 p.m. it lost contact with the mothership, the Polar Prince, Jazzy Man, but it wasn't reported missing to the U.S. Coast Guard until 10:40 p.m. Kathleen Cosnett, a cousin of UK businessman Hamish Harding, who was only 58, was on the sub, said the 8-hour delay before contacting authorities was far too long. So we just went through this. Oh, mom. They had a lot of people on site, but what is this with the 8-hour delay? So doesn't that mean that any possible hope was gone? Basically, before anything was even reported, I think they were probably gone. Ooh, duh. So there's that video if you guys want to watch it again. Check out Fox. They are in the description. Look at that thing, hey? 20,000 feet it can go. And it did its job. So, and it does have the cables and the umbilical cable. I like that. So I wonder if it detaches here. I'm curious about this thing now. So we watched that. It's frightening. It took so long for them to get going to rescue him. It's far too long. I would have thought 3 hours would be the bare minimum. I wouldn't even think that long. Despite fears their oxygen supplies have run out, there's still hope in the most desperate situations. I'd still be hoping. I'd still be hoping for the smallest glimmer. I mean, I can't imagine these families. Wow. Experts believe that the 96-hour oxygen supply number is an imprecise estimate and could be extended if those on board have taken measures to conserve breathable air, including lying still and even sleeping. You see, that's what I was thinking. Like most of these guys, they would know how to regulate their air. They've done things like gone to the moon. These are true adventurers. So that was where my hope was, is that they were somehow able to extend their supply. I know that when I worked in the oil patch for a few years with, anyways, I learned how to regulate my air because I was always going into like gas, into gas tanks and into like great big 400 barrels full of sludge and what have you. So you learn that. So you learn how to make it extend. And these guys are way more experienced than I ever would even assume to be. So that was where my hopes were lying. So they said that Guillermo Solin, I'm sorry guys, butchering these, founded Ocean Gate with Rush in 2009. Earlier today said he believes that the window for finding them could go beyond the U.S. Coast Guard's prediction. He said today will be the critical day in this search and rescue mission as the sub's life support supplies are starting to run low. I'm certain that Stockton, the rest of the crew, realized days ago that the best thing they can do to ensure the rescue is to limit those supplies by relaxing as much as possible. I firmly believe that the time window available for the rescue is longer than what most people think. I continue to hold out hope for my friend and the rest of the crew. Like I said, that's exactly where I'd be sitting. That's exactly what I'd be doing. And I mean, I don't scuba dive. I don't do any of this stuff. These guys are like intense, the stuff they like to do. So that says the Titan lost communication on Sunday about 435 miles south of St. John's, Newfoundland during a voyage to the Titanic off the coast of Canada. The last ping of its homing device was heard on Sunday afternoon directly above the world's most famous wreck. Canadian Navy ship carrying medics specializing in treating health issues related to deep-sea diving arrived on the scene this morning on the HMC Glace Bay, according to officials. Like, don't you have to worry about things like the bends and like what would happen when you go down that fast? Go down like in something that, and then there is what happens to you? I think exactly what they're saying. Like everything implodes. Damn. Above the wreck is a flotilla of at least 10 ships, 2 robot subs, and several aircraft scanning the Atlantic for any signs of the Titan, which we know that has changed. As sonar continues to hear banging noises. I wonder what those end up being. Do you guys have any clue? Speaking to Sky News, Rear Admiral John Mauger confirmed the initial report suggesting the noise heard by sonar buoys was background ocean noise. Okay, there we go. We've taken that information and shared it with the top leading expert from the U.S. Navy and Canadian Navy, and they're working on the analysis of that information. They're continuing to work on the analysis of that information, he said. Okay, so as far as the ocean goes, so isn't there like distinct areas that are like Canadian waters, the US waters, Russian waters. No fly zones. Like, isn't there things like that? So if there's an accident like this, is this going to be, or does it even, is anything even going to be done? Does Canada deal with what has just happened? Does the US deal with what just happened? Do they both deal with what just happened? Like, I can't see it just being, oh, well, like, what the hell, these families, I would think. But then again, these guys knew. So yeah, I'm going to be really curious to see what the hell goes on with this. Ocean noise, but they continue to look for all available information there. What's important to me and what's important to the Unified Command is we've continued the search in the areas where the noise was detected with the ROVs that we have from the time of that detection. We're not waiting for analysis to take action. Well, that's day cooker friend. Yeah, the analysis is really helpful to our overall search and rescue efforts, but we're not waiting on it. We've moved to the remote operation vehicles that we've had on site to those areas where the noise was detected. So we did see that one, and they're saying that they've been zigzagging the area, and we've seen where they had gone across. A Royal Navy submariner, as well as equipment from British company, has been sent to assist in the search for the Titan. So now I guess that the Victor 6000 also has strong lights, allowing it to see. Okay, I was wondering if it was what it was going to be like. Jasmine, no. I was wondering what they were using for light down there, but it makes sense that it would be attached right to that Victor 6000. Desperate situation. Yeah, everybody. So now let's see what they're doing to get this up and retrieved. We looked at that earlier. Okay, guys. Well, isn't that something? So yeah, I think now we're basically going to wait and see what happens. I'm glad that they found it. I hope that they can find out more than what we know now. Like, I hope that there's something in there that kept track of what was going on. Yeah, Jazzy. So yeah, well, I guess we're going to have to sit and wait and see what they use for equipment to bring this up. Like I say, hopefully there's something out there that can either retrieve as much as they can. When I think of implosion, I think of little tiny bits. Something like that, not too much carbon. No one of the elements mixing. Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Isn't it international waters? So if that's the case, James, what happens? I don't know what happens in that case. Like, does that mean it's just like a free zone? You can go out there and do whatever the hell you want and nobody cares? Oh, you don't think it'll be recovered? Okay. Medical condition caused by dissolved gases emerging from the solution as bubbles inside the body tissues during decompression. You little brainiac. Yes. Yes, she tries to get out of the boat. Thanks, Wikipedia. So yeah, sit and wait now and see what they find out. James, you don't think that they're going to find anything? Anything else? And I'm undecided. I'm hoping that they can find enough little electrical things that they can start to put together, maybe how far it went down, how long. Is there a little black box on this thing? I mean, and where did it come from? Like, this guy, did he just design it, and him and his buddy, they designed it and put it out there? I read somewhere that it wasn't certifiable. Is that, I'm going to have to do some looking. There's lots to this. So what do you guys think? International waters, what happens? I don't know. I will, I'm going to probably do a follow-up to this because, like I said, I think there's more to come. I'm just going to do a fast look and see if anything else is up in the last little while. I'm looking for a little bit of history as well. I've been watching it, but as far as the families and, you know, what these men were like as people, I don't know a lot, except for that one older fellow. I know that he was extreme thrill chaser. He loved it. It sounds like that's almost what he lived for. Let's see here. Media availability. Okay, we did that. Okay, guys. I think we are there. What is this here? I'll do one more quick and see if there's a...
I need Patsy.
Looking. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I thought they were going to have... Oh, okay. Let's take a look at this. Okay. This is from Yahoo! So, as Thursday was marked as the final day before the Titan's emergency oxygen supply ran out, the U.S. Coast Guard said it would hold a press conference, and that's the one we just watched. A remotely operated vehicle, ROV, made the discovery near the wreckage of the Titanic. Speaking to the media Wednesday, Captain Jamie Frederick said the U.S. Coast Guard had 5 surface vessels searching for Titan on Wednesday, and that he expected there to be 10 by Thursday, today. And that's when they started looking for those noises that were underwater, detected by a Canadian P-3 aircraft with ROV. Data was shared with the U.S. Navy experts for analysis, with rescuers remaining optimistic and hopeful. How could you not? Okay, so this is that thing that they all crawled into and trusted with their lives. So look at how small that thing is. Length, 6.7 meters. Height, 25. Am I even showing this? No. Here you go, guys. So the porthole window would be over here, the one side. It's kind of shaped like what, a bullet, kind of, sort of. Porthole window. Oh yeah, because there's a little seat there that I seen on one picture that they could sit there and look out at the dark. So I wonder how many lights. Do you guys see a lot of lights? So the entry hatch there, thrusters, carbon fiber and titanium shell. Carbon fiber and titanium shell. So 6.7 meters long, 2.5 meters high. The maximum speed it could go was 3 knots, and the maximum depth was 4,000 meters. Asked with whether the mission was changing to become a recovery search, Captain Frederick said this is a search and rescue mission 100%. So they're talking about those banging noises, right? Marine traffic data showed that the, Atlante had slowed to a speed of 6 nautical knots and was located 20 to 30 kilometers from the Polar Prince, which carried the Titan to the waters above the wreckage of the Titan, which sunk on its maiden voyage back in 1912. Canadian Coast Guard. So we were looking at these boats earlier. This one's John Cabot. The vessel with sonar capabilities that showed up on Wednesday morning. And the commercial vessels, Scandi, Vinland, and the Atlantic Merlin, and Coast Guard's C-130 crew. Look at that thing! Like, are you kidding me right now? It wouldn't happen. Would never happen. What do you think, Mexi? Do you want to go climb into that little bullet with me and go for a dive? Also en route to the scene. So we went through everybody that was helping. And they did have a lot of help. Sadly, everybody was too late. What do you guys think? Do you think, like I do, that this was most likely something that happened fairly quick in the trip? This motion lifted the system is designed to keep ocean lifting from recovery of large, bulky. Okay, of course, I just start in the middle. Nothing. And what's this here? Everything we know. What's this? No music. Let's take a peek. No. Yeah, holy. So that is where we're at. We pretty much know that they weren't that 1,600 feet down. Is that what they said? And then a little ways away from the Titanic. So it doesn't have anything to do with the actual wreckage. This has got to do with going down into Never Never Land and having some failures. You know, I hope that, you know, I think of the families. It's horrible. And I just hope that this was something that happened really fast. Nobody suffered. Nobody got scared. Nobody. Yeah. Just like that, please. It's sad. You know, we all had hope. And imagine how the families feel. So, yeah, say a little prayer for these guys tonight before you close your peepers. So, guys, I am going to jump off. I'm still looking for Richard Allen's documents. They're not out, and tomorrow's Friday. So watch for that, because as soon as they're out, I'm on it. And I'm also still looking at Harmony Montgomery, who just had her 6th birthday, and the probable cause for her brutal, what they call dad now, has done to her. It's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. I've had to take some time to even absorb it, to go back second time and go, what the hell? So let's keep these families in our hearts and share this out. And let's see here. Learning. Okay. So guys, thanks again. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.